Hello, how we doing? Oh, mercy. The audio balance is all whack and my background's all whack. How we doing? Congratulations to those of you who got a gifted membership. Let me read those off real quick. Congratulations to Quattro Zach 1, Emberfire 7583, Angelo McCormack, J3M, The King Studios YouTube, Unitium X, Kieran 354, Miss Gamer Girl 18, Cherry Berry, What a Twist Neo Swing, and Nova Dev for your gift memberships. If this is your first time receiving a gifted membership, it does not automatically redo it. So if you were gifted, don't worry, it's not going to hack in and start taking money from you. It's just once a month gifted thing. It's randomly selected, and now you get to enjoy some perks, so congratulations. Hello Justin, Kieran, Legend, and King Studios, and we got Mr. Conductor Bro in chat. How we doing? Good to see you. Conductor Bro says, hello Lily, I'm doing pretty well today. How are you doing so far? I am on the struggle bus today. I do not feel well. And that's just because I have a chronic illness, and it be like that sometimes. Just human. Can someone catch me up? I just got on. We just started. Hi, I'm a human, probably. What a coincidence. So are you. How you doing? Alright. Miss Gamer Girl, also known as Legend of Seats, I have been enjoying your videos and I'm looking forward to this week's Minecraft Monday. It's gonna be so epic. It's been so fun seeing you explore Minecraft and stuff. Lilac Velvet says hello. Miss Gamer Girl says we give hugs. Thank you. Hugs right back. Justin, how you doing? You said hi all, and I haven't heard any more. How you doing? Oh, you got the emojis. Okay, sorry. I can read. Jay's here. Hello. Hey y'all. Sorry I'm late. You're not late. We've literally just been going for what, 2? I don't even know. You ain't late. Nobody's late. It's just a vibe. A very migraine-y vibe, but a vibe nonetheless. Gamer Girl says, thank you. You are welcome. Thank you. I just got distracted with the sunglasses in the background. Fun story about these. Y'all know I go to church. And there's this guy. Let's call him Bill. Bill. Because, I don't know, glasses, Bill. Makes sense to me. You put glasses on your bill if you're a duck. Anyways, he always has these cool glasses on, and then he'll like push them up when he gets in. So he always has these cool, fun glasses. And every time I see him on a Sunday, he's one of the few people that I will like make eye contact with and socialize with, even when I don't feel well. Which for a while, I just was not socializing, you guys. I was hardcore neurodivergent, no eye contact, just don't talk to me. And now I'm neurodivergent socializing, which is the same but different somehow. Anyways, I apparently complimented his glasses enough that he gave me these, and now they're one of my favorites because they're bright yellow and they remind me of a really lovely human. So there's the story behind that. Justin says, I'm good. Eating hamburger helper as we watch. Heck yeah. Lilac Velvet, I'm new here. Is there any rules I should know? That is a great question. We have, please be kind and respectful to everyone. Use common sense. We typically don't talk about medical stuff. We typically don't talk about like things going on in the world. This is kind of our space. I don't call it a safe space because anyone and everyone can be here. But it is a space that we try to keep separate from everything else to give us a mental break. So I think it's important to talk about hard things, but this stream and this chat is not the place. Other than that, I think that's it. Thanks for asking. Relaxing is here. Hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you, Justin, for doing the exclamation point rules. You killed it. Good mod. Actually, I've been meaning. I think you already are a standard. Yeah, you are a standard moderator. Yeah. There are some... So, YouTube recently came out with this wild concept of moderation. It's something that Twitch chat, if you're unfamiliar with Twitch, it's just like a live streaming thing. But yeah, Twitch has much better moderation than YouTube does because there's like a spot for you to put your rules. What is on my hand? It's just like a sticky magnet. Yeah, so Twitch has this place where you can just like scroll down and see the rules of the community, and it makes sense, and like it's so easy for people to like moderate their channels in Twitch chat. And then you go to YouTube and it's like really awkward. So little wee bit awkward. Just this is Lily explaining it for me because I hit a wrong button when tagging. Mood. We got each other's back. Alright, as you can tell from the title of the stream, I've yapped far enough. One more time, congratulations to everybody who got a gifted membership. Today, we are going to be talking about what if Luz Noceda were Booktuber. So a couple of weeks ago on Sunday Community Night, we talked about what if Luz Noceda, Percy Jackson, and Adora from She-Ra they're not all from She-Ra, but she doesn't have a last name, I realize, so Adora, She-Ra, I don't know. What if they were content creators? And so we made YouTube channels for them, and we kind of established that Luz would absolutely hardcore be a booktuber, and she would have like a weekly podcast with Amity about like the Good Witch Azura, stuff like that. And today I wanted to dive a little deeper into that and talk about like how she might develop her channel as a booktuber. Because I have made channel content creation and whatnot my interest since 2016. That's 10 years, y'all. I'm sharing my wisdom. Can you see that? You can. What about over here? You know what? It'll just have to deal. I'm really tired, so we're just gonna have moments where I kind of zone out, and that's just gonna be the vibe of the stream today. Thank you for your patience. So I am going to put up a Q&A. Ask me anything about content creation. And we're going to start a Q&A. And as you guys send in questions about that, you know, I can answer those questions and that can kind of guide our topics. But until then, we're just going to vibe, you know? Justin says, you know, I think Luz would like a book series called Deltora Quest. It's an Australian children's fantasy book series. That's really interesting. Deltora Quest. I minimized the screen that chat is in, and I opened it up to my homework, and I just shriveled up a little inside. Miss Gamer Girl says, all good. Same, to be honest. Ugh. Sucks. Deltora Quest. Oh, that's cute. That's a whole series. Cool. Okay. So, actually, why don't we just start with that? When it comes to content creation, you want to have something to work off of. And, you know, ideally we would work off of the Good Witch Azura series, but they don't exist. So instead, we're going to be working off of Deltora Quest, because it's what Justin suggested. Thank you. Miss Gamer Girl says Del Toro Quest is amazing. Heavy Zelda inspired. Oh, that's super appropriate for the song that's playing right now. Let me actually put the mini player out so that y'all can see what's playing. Cass's theme is playing, actually. There you go. All right. So we are going to do this, do this, and then we're gonna do even more stuff, and I'm gonna do it all off camera so that I can't accidentally dox myself. Yes. All right. Fantastic. So we are going to, I think this is the one that I want. Yes. I just need to move that. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Just human, if you could rephrase that in a way that is just a little shorter and easier to process, I would appreciate that, because I do want to hear what you have to say. It's just hard for me to process bigger messages all at once, so thank you. Relaxing says, I don't know why internet feels safer than real life. I don't know, but you are pushing the bit of talking about needing escapism and talking about why you need escapism. We're just going to end it right there and talk about just continuing with the internet. We don't have to talk about why internet feels safer than real life. That is something to talk about in therapy. If you don't have therapy, sucks to be you. I am keeping a boundary very, very majorly for my well-being and others. Alright, so you can see that we have our previous character YouTube creation going on. We've got our live stream quotes tournament from before. We've even got some tier list stuff. What? That's right, I have some tier lists planned. Haven't done them yet. That's okay. We're gonna open up the YouTube character creation. And we already created something for Luz Noceda right here. And honestly, we kind of created not just it's not just her YouTube channel, but we also designed a bunch of videos for her, because it would be the Azura Book Club, and then it would be interspersed with a bunch of random things that don't belong to the Azura Book Club, right? So when it comes to Luz Noceda, can you hear me? Yes, you can. Just want to make sure, because I realized that I had been talking and you can't see me, but you can still see me, which is great. All right, let's bring the face cam up. Close. Fantastic. You can see me now. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the chaos. We want to go a little step further, and instead of just creating content and pillars and a YouTube channel for Luz, we want to go further and design the background. Because the first step in creating a video is the setup. Like, what are you going to be filming, and what's going to be the set for your content? So if she's going to be doing an Azura Book Club, and we can zoom in on some of these. Like here, she might have a major rolling pin board, I guess. And then she also might just be in front of a bookshelf or something. So we want to include a lot of book motifs into this, as well as maybe like a rolling, like, I don't know the word, corkboard, whiteboard, blackboard, writing board, notes board, tracking a serial killer with red lines until you figure out who done it, and then they come and find you so that you can't tell the main character, and then they find you. Yeah, whatever the case, this sort of thing we want to have access to, and we also want to have a nice bookshelf in the background. So with that in mind, let's design a background. Let's design a set background for Luz. We're gonna have... Where's a good picture of Luz? I know I have quite a few. Is that the only one? Okay, we'll stick with that. We're gonna make it bigger. If you're wondering what I'm using, I'm just using Canva. It's free. I have the not free version, but you don't need to buy anything to use this really effectively. Like if you want the background remover, sure, you need it. If you want to do like most of the fancy graphics and stuff, sure, it might be helpful. But if you just want to do like basic stuff with Canva, it's better off if you just get the free version and play around with it later. So I'm just going to erase this, but you can literally go to Google and search and find a picture of Luz where it's just no background. You can also go to a remove background converter site and upload your photos there and do it that way if you were really crunched on money and stuff. We just I got a deal because I'm a student way back in the day and I'm still a student, so mwaha mwahahaha. I will use my Prime subscription while I have it. Yes, please. All right, so we have our version of Luz we're going to be working with. This is just to give us a context for who she might be, or where she is in the foreground. So everything behind Luz is going to be what's called the background, and then Luz is our foreground. Miss Gamer Girl says, this is amazing. We see you. Yay! Miss Gamer Girl says, I could see that. Thank you. Relaxing says, I think you should sell the thumbnails. You're very talented. $5 a photo. Thank you. Nobody would buy them, but thank you. Jay says, wait, do you think Luz does Azura Book Club discussion live streams with Amity? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's their weekly Friday live stream. We just need a picture of Amity. But right now we're trying to figure out, like, the set design. But absolutely. Just Human says, you think Luz could like reading to Dragon Ball? I think Luz would be down with Dragon Ball Z. I'm not familiar with it, but a lot of my students like Dragon Ball Z, and I think Luz would get along really well with my students, so yeah. Alright, so I'm just gonna look up bookshelf. I know how to spell bookshelf. Yep, I know how to spell. And I'm just gonna pop up the ones that come up. You're gonna notice there's a vast variety, I can speak, of examples that Canva is going to give you. And this is one of the important things that I want to talk about, is the implications of your background. And we're going to get a little meta here, because I'm not just going to talk about Luz. I'm going to talk about... Oh, wait, look. There we go. I'm not just going to talk about Luz's background, but I'm also going to talk about my background in the stream right now. Whoa, we're getting meta. Can you believe it? But let's start with something structured right here, right? What kind of vibe are we getting from this? What kind of vibe? We're getting clean. We're getting modern. It's not necessarily minimalist because we've got all of these books in the background, so it's kind of colorful and visual and vibrant, but it is very clean and simple and not very complex. All of the colors are simple, and they're all a lot of the same colors as well in one palette, and so it kind of gives off, like, I don't know, I can't think of the exact term that it would, like, the vibe or aesthetic that it gives off. But we don't have to think of the exact vibe. We're just thinking, does it match with Luz's vibe? And right away, this is not her vibe at all. So we are going to remove that from the options. And take this one. Relaxing says, do you know Lo-Fi Girl? Oh yeah, I know her personally. We go to brunch every Saturday, and I babysit her cat every Monday and Tuesday. That's why I don't stream on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'm kidding. Lo-Fi Girl is animated. I'm familiar with the concept of Lo-Fi Girl, yes. Alright. This one, I'm getting very, very studious vibes. Justin said I'm getting a study vibe from the bookcase one. You're going to have to be a little specific. I think you're talking about this one, but they are all bookcases. They're all bookcases. And that's because we know we want a bookcase, but what kind of bookcase and how are we going to design it? Miss Gamer Girl says second one seems like loose. I would agree. It gives a little more loose vibes. But now let's take a minute and ask ourselves, why do we think this matches Luce's aesthetic? Well, there's a lot of bookshelves, which indicates maximalism. It indicates a lot to explore, which is very loose coded. There's a lot of the same color palette, but it's repeated and it's really small. With art, if there are any artists in the chat, I know at least 2 of them are in the chat. You know that you can make something have more visual weight either by the number, the size, or the complexity, or the brightness of something. And so here, there's a lot of different colors repeating, and it's all very complex. You know, it's the same shapes over and over and over again, but they're smaller and repeated, and so it gives visual weight all throughout it. Whereas the ceiling tiles, which are a little further apart square-wise, that's a little more relaxed. And so this is kind of like a bigger than life, because these bookshelves extend past the stuff that we have. And it's also just maximalist, because who's going to read that many books? Luce is. So this is definitely a Luce-friendly bookshelf. And this definitely is not. So we're going to do the next one. Is this a Luce-friendly bookshelf or not? And why? I'll give you a second to consider that as I read. Chat. Oh my word. I look away from chat for a minute. Relaxing says it's 5:30 a.m. here, and here there's a full moon right now. It looks light yellow. That's so cool. I love that for you. Heck yeah. It kind of looks like the Slime Rancher image. Just right across. Here, let me see. If I can just move. There we go. Right here. There. You know, the moon over there. It kind of reminds me of that. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put us way back over there. That way I can look at the stuff. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who's really off-key? All right. Miss Gamer Girl says that this second one with the tall brown bookshelves looks like Luce. Justin says, yeah, no, the first one with this tall white one with the seat does not give Luce vibes. Mari says, I think the bookcase is alright, but the bookcase, on the other hand, is awful compared to the bookcase, which is perfect in every way. And I have to say, I agree, Mari. You hit the nail totally on the head right there. I stream over. You said everything. There's nothing else I can say. Miss Gamer Girl and Justin both agree that the third one, this one, is more Willow vibes. And I agree. For sure. Why do we think it gives Willow vibes? Because there's plants. There's plants all over. It's also a little more open. We kind of expect Willow to have a little more space in her area. Why? Because she likes to grow plants. She likes to have potential for her to grow plants into that space. There's a lot of motif about growing into potential space. Bye, Mario. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you stopped by. I hope you have a good one. Stream's over, guys. Bye, Tree. Okay, you got me. That was good. That was good. Jay says, Mari. That was a good bit. Unfortunately, lag. And memory. Anyways, so we have this one for Willow. Let's save it for Willow. And now you are trolling me from beyond for funsies. Because of the echo that nobody controls. Not even me. Alright, so we're gonna label these as loose, not loose, and then as we go, we're gonna have other characters. So, not this one, but this one is Willow vibes. Absolutely. Relaxing says, I still don't understand what you said last live stream about relax with relaxing. I said something about hope you can relax, and then I kind of finger gun. I was like, relax with relaxing, and then you said something about it, and so we kind of like did 2 bits on it, and it was just a pun. It was just a joke because your name online is relaxing. I was hoping that you could relax. Okay, so we have Willow's shelf. We've got Luce's bookshelf library stuff. We have this cute one. I need another one. I need to... We have so many to go through. Just Human asks, what are your reaction when Luce and Amity officially became a couple? They're bringing a romance? Really? It was such a good show. And that sounds homophobic. Kind of. Yes. Loki was. I just want you to know, I was equally heterophobic when they made Rain and Ida kiss, and when they made, Willow and Hunter get hand-holdy. I think it's all disgusting. No romance, please, but I understand that it's valuable for other people, so, you know, you guys can have your romance. I will have my cake, garlic bread, and dragons, please. I'm Arrow Ace, if you can't tell. Mari says, loose, not loose, creepy loose, semi-loose, loose Lazura, and loose Pavensi. Yes, exactly. Miss Gamer Girl 18 says, that first bookcase with the green couch seemed more for Amity, by the way. There we go. Perfect. Maybe for Amity. I don't know that I agree with that, but I can see where you're going with that. So I'll put a question mark. Maybe Amity, maybe not. Alright, this one. This is super cutesy. I think there are elements that Luce would definitely have on hers, but it doesn't ultimately match Luce's vibe. For example, not Luce. Miss Gamer Girl says, pink bookcase is touch. I want to say yes, but I don't know. Relaxing says, why don't you do live daily? Because I don't want to. Why don't you live stream? Probably because you don't feel like doing it, right? I don't feel like doing it. I'm busy. Mari says V would like the pink one, maybe. Ooh, that's a good one. I could leave it as not loose. That could totally work. V, maybe, question mark. I think Luce would definitely take elements of this bookshelf. For example, she would have the cute figurine cats. she would definitely have those. So I'm going to add that to Luce's as we find elements that match. But ultimately, this isn't a Luce thing. Justin says, Miss Gamer Girl and I aren't arrow ace, but yes to cake, garlic bread, and dragons. Amen. Hallelujah. Tough, I can't spell. That's a mood. Jay says pink bookcase is something Luce Amity would have in a shared space. Ooh, that's a good point. Maybe. This is, well, I think Luce would have overcome. We'll put one for Lumity. How about that? So, Lumity. It kind of gives little kid vibes, and they're all teenagers in the show, and I think they were kind of going away from the kid vibes and more towards the teenager vibes. Relaxing says, because I love being relaxing than being recognized as a face. I mean, I can get famous without being recognized. That makes sense. That's valid. Mari says, this bookcase has the touch. This bookcase has the power. All right. I'm going to check the questions. I don't have any questions. That's fine. All right. Next bookshelf. Oh my gosh. We're just going to put it here and then sign it. This is a children's bookshelf. It just doesn't work for so many different reasons. I don't think it belongs in the show at all, to be honest. This one just... No. There's nothing it belongs to. I don't know. I think V would pick something a little more sleek and modern. And I don't think this belongs either. So we're gonna, instead of V, I'm just gonna make this, nope. Pink bookcase is Belos's bookcase. Hard agree. Okay, we found the canon. We found the canon. And instead of, nope, we're gonna do Belos. Mari says, no, it's Braxis. But Braxis has that, like, emo kid vibe. I don't know. All right, next one. We're gonna decide, does it fit with Luce or not? In fact, we're just gonna do this. Replace background. Bam. I love the aesthetic, but it doesn't match Luce for me. It's definitely old and dusty, and she would love that. I think this is more so Rain Whispers or Amity Blight. If I can grab it, that is. I think Amity would take this one because she is that study girl, you know? Just Human says, I think Luce could have a few of her sketchbooks on a bookshelf. Yes. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Luce would definitely have her art displayed. It wouldn't just be like a little cubby hole. I think this might be like a little decoration in the house, but I don't think it matches Luce. This one might fit like Hunter or Hootie or something. Like this would fit in Porta Hootie maybe. This one, this is definitely... I could see Luce having this along with Amity. I can see this being a Lumity one purely because of the contents. Let me flip it so you can read it. 666 practical uses for Nightshade. Maiden Mother Crone. Memoir from Hecate. Hecate! I mean, come on, it writes itself. Wonderful World of Fungi. Potions for Beginners. Spellcraft 101. 1692, Folklore for Young Witches. This is absolutely something that would belong in a Lumity household. And I think this would definitely go in the back of their videos. Mari says the one before was some Hogwarts nonsense. Maybe. Maybe so. Maybe not. Who knows? Gotta love Nightshade. Nightshade reminds me of the stars. Can somebody say hello to the stars? Pro tip, don't try to drink your water. Wait, don't try to breathe your water, try to drink your water instead. Gamer Girl says children's bookcase could be Hunters or Gus, but comics. Ooh, that is clever. That is a good idea. Definitely agree there. Okay, here we have, not only does the pixelated vibe match Luz, it's also very lived in. There's a bunch of random things here. There's books, there's art, there's plants, there's random, is that a pear? There's random stuff all over this bookshelf. It's very lived in and has a lot of personality. I could see it going on top of another bookshelf for her, or just being a bookshelf. I think she's a very maximalist kind of gal. Jay says, Lily, why? Why not? Relaxing says, I'm always talking off the topic stuffs. As long as it's like fun facts and stuff, I love off the topic stuff. But when you talk about like mental health and what's going on in the world and how life sucks, we're starting to breach not what I'm comfortable with. So definitely, absolutely, we love off-topic stuff. Just remember to keep in mind the rules of the community, which is don't talk about keep it kid friendly. Don't talk about medical stuff and keep it light. Don't talk about too many heavy topics. Nobody here is a licensed therapist. We can't help you, and you don't want me to help you. Trust me. Gamer Girl says yes to Pixel Bookcase. Jay says, Lily, why? For saying hello to the stars. I knew what I did. I knew you were my target there. I knew that would get you. How does it feel to be bullied? Gamer Girl says, I cannot type tonight. That's okay. I can't do many things. 50 peas in a pod, shall we? Justin says, those are the sort of plans I see Luz having. Right? They all have personality and stuff. Next one. And actually, I'm going to put that with Luz because we decided to keep it. We have a little cart here full of books. I love the different colors. There's a lot of colors. We have books stacked on top. The books aren't exactly like tidy. It all works. It all works there. I would say this fits Luz, but I don't know that it would be her given like streaming background or whatever. But it would definitely be a Lumity like bedside table something. Relaxing says, can you volume up sound? I'm almost maxing out the gaming mic, so I don't think so. I don't want to make it too loud, so you should probably be able to bring the volume up in some way. If not, sorry. This is the best I can do. Justin's, thank you, Justin. No politics, no medical talk, no homophobia, transphobia, so ism, expect the tism. I don't get the last one, but you got the stuff. Mari says, how do the question things work? Honestly, I think you just do the question thing. I don't actually know. That's a good question. I thought it was like an option. It was like you click on it and then you join the Q&A or something, but I guess not. Jay says, Lily, do you want more angst? Yes, I would love some angst if it means you upload more. I'm spicy. I'm sorry. Just Human says, I see Willow doing a plant-themed channel, but also Fly Derby. Yes. Flyer Derby would definitely be like a day in the life as a college athlete or something, and then she's just doing flyer derby stuff, and it's a day in the life as an athlete. And then you also see like her plants and stuff. I think that would be really cool. That's a great idea, Just Human. So let's do another one. And let's really quickly design something for Willow, because it's fun. Justin said, I meant no ism, expect the tism. So no racism or sexism, but we like autism. Ah, yes. Yes. We do love the tism. Mari, you managed it. What is your favorite flavor of airplane, blue or 47? Actually, 62 and 43. And this is why. Because when you go and see a penguin, their snuffles actually reveal that penguins don't have knees. And if they do, they're backwards, because pancake houses are balloons. So, great question. I hope that answered it. If English is not your first language or you're having a rough day, don't worry. That was purposefully chaos, okay? So if you are so confused because you didn't understand any of that, that's okay. That was purposefully off. That was off the cuff. That was fun. Volume sounds good on our end. Heck yeah. I am procrastinating all of my homework because I have a quiz due after the stream. So somebody keep me from going past 8 p.m. please. I don't know the rest of it. Currently thinking about switching to Linux, says Jay. So new videos may take a while. Again, I'm sorry. No, you're good. I was messing with you. There is absolutely no shame. I took a whole year off, and before that, I've taken literal years off. I ghosted so many channels. Like, there is no shame in not uploading. That being said, as somebody who I know understands my level of humor and stuff on the channel, I am going to teach you a little bit about it. Unless you're not comfortable with that, in which case let me know. But if you're cool with that, I'm totally going to give you a hard time about it. All right. So Willow, we're gonna switch the background color from purple over to a nice green. Not that green. We're gonna do like a sage green. And instead of books, snakes, and cameras, or these words, we're actually gonna look up B. We're gonna have B. Alexis says, do you believe in ghosts? This is an off-topic one that vibes well. Good job, you're learning. I'm proud of you. I don't think I believe in ghosts. I am spiritual, I believe in spirits, but I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. And I don't know how to explain the difference. Jay says, huh? Sorry, I zoned out a second. No worries. You were talking about, do you want more ink? I mentioned the stars. I can see the stars again, my lady. Say hello to the stars for me. Then you said, do you want more inks? I said, yes, if it means getting a new video. And then you're like, oh, I'm actually not going to do another video. I'm sorry. And I was like, no. I was teasing you about the whole not having a video. Never any shame. If you're uncomfortable with me teasing you about videos or no videos, I will stop. But if you're okay with it, I will absolutely tease you about whether or not you have a video until you come up with another video, because I do enjoy all y'all's videos. Speaking of videos, Miss Gamer Girls, Minecraft Monday comes out tomorrow. I'm excited. I have a full day and I'm going to come home and I'm going to get to watch that and it's going to be great. Chat using voice? No, thank you. Jay says, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Willow, we're going to have a bee. We're also going to have a flyer derby. Usually it's inspired by something. Oh, it's racing. That makes sense. Okay. We are going to look up pictures of Willow. Flyer Derby. I misspelled it so bad, but you don't know that because I'm not letting you see it. Okay, I am just going to try and find a good piece of art. If it's fan art, I might. If it's not, I might. Who knows? I just want Willow Park Flyer Derby. You know what? They signed it. I'm gonna take this. Bam. So then we are going to do... Ah, I can't do it. Close enough, right? Right? So I think we would have like a collage of Willow playing Flyer Derby. And then we would have... Let's just use that same one for the user profile picture, yeah? Jay says, it's fine, you can tease me about that stuff. Awesome! How dare you not upload for however long it's been? How dare! I want my angst! Ah! Justin says, while we off topic, so we were going to sneak one of wife's kitties into the place. Got a half-price cat tree because it was slightly busted, but not in an unsafe way. I'm going to pretend that I didn't read that because that's on the internet now, forever and always. It's great that, hypothetically, you're doing that in your D&D campaign. Uh-huh. Yeah. If you were to hypothetically do this in a D&D campaign, I would hope that you roll a nat 20 on stealth and persuasion, and that you get a good spot to do it safely. Because I know kitties are important. Plant. Let's see if there's anything inspired by plants. No? How about Swoopy? Because she plays Flyer Derby. Handwriting. Playwright. Apricots. That could work. Willow Park. There we go. Willow Park. At Willow Park. I think she would just have all of her names. Or all of her usernames as just the same thing. And then sharing my life as a top tier Flyer Derby athlete competing in the Boiling Isles Internationals. And then it's just gonna be like, okay, I'm lazy. They have really great art. Go check them out. The person who did this art is... La Mom? Awapol? No, I think it's supposed to be Yamom? Yamam? Is this a Yo Mama joke? I'm not sure. But they did fantastic art. I should still have it available. Yeah. Who did this? Yamom. Nana. I'm gonna put it in chat so that you guys can find. Shout out to that person for the art. There we go. Okay. 0. We won! Nationals! Relaxing says, I love your reaction. Thanks! Willow's username she uses in the show is Hello Willow. Oh, that's so cute. I'm stealing that. Ah, I love it. Hello. Oh, that's not it. Hello. Willow. That's so cute. And then the background. We're just gonna quickly make it, what's the opposite of green? Purple. What is her other color, though? Yellow. So let's just make it softer. There we go. Mari says, is this a Yo Mama joke? I don't know, but they made wonderful art. Miss Gamer Girl says, I think the D&D will have support kitties in game. Ooh, that's cool. Jay says, so there is a video coming, but it'll probably be on my friend's channel and I'll share it. Heck yeah. Ember! Hello, Ember. How you doing? Good evening, all. Hope stream is going well tonight. It is. It's good to see you. We started out picking backgrounds for Luz's stream, and then we got distracted picking bookshelves for other people. We decided that this one fits Willow. These would be ones that Luz and Amity have in their house. These are Amity's, and we decided that this is just Bellos's. And then, because we were talking about Willow and her bookshelf, we were talking about what would Willow's YouTube channel be like. And so, now we're looking at stuff like that. There we go. Fair about the distraction. Never let it die, Jay. Oh my gosh, one time, 2 years ago. Relaxy says, have you ever had a moment where you into internet so much you lean your head around one side of the shoulder and you don't know? I've never considered it. Never considered it. Just Human says, I could see Emra doing fashion and Edric doing pranks or trying to do cool stunts. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. We already got off topic with Willow, but what's another distraction? I mean, I think Luz would get distracted helping her friends come up with them. The Blight twins. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna find some art. Well, it was great, and I can't blame you for wanting to see her bookshelf and YouTube channel. Right? Okay. So we're gonna do Edric and Emra. They would absolutely play off of this picture. Hold up. This picture, this picture, and probably this one too. coming up. There we go. Miss Gamer Girl says, I love the description of the video. Oh, yeah, we haven't finished the description of the video yet. That was for Luce's Why You Should Go Dumpster Diving. And it's basically just the summary of the first episode. For the Blight siblings, I would say this is gonna be their thumbnail. Or no, this is gonna be up here. This is gonna be their thumbnail. And it's gonna be, we pranked our baby sister once again, or something. And then this is gonna go in that little thing. Detach. Okay, we're gonna adjust it just a wee bit. Gonna group it, and then we're gonna put the group in there. We're just gonna pretend that they fit in a circle, okay? Okay. Mari says, bookshelf. Bookself. New Neo pronoun just dropped, y'all. Relaxing says, have you ever got recognized in public? Yes, all the time. My friends tend to recognize me in public when they see me. That does tend to happen when I run into people I know. Otherwise, if it's like, if none of my friends are out and about, you know, like, but like a weird number of times I'll run into people that I know. Like the other day I ran into one of my students and I was like, oh my gosh, hey. And so we chatted about stuff. And that was cute. I liked the aesthetic of that team up. But yeah, whenever I run into people who know me, typically, it's not like they forget my face. Let's do fun. What's gonna be fun? Funtastic? No. Tan Moonlight? Aprilla? Genty Sands? Vampire? Lucky Bones? More sugar? Festive Roman. I don't know. Lighten it up. And then ranking the teacher's pet again. Hey guys, it's Ed and Amra. No, stupid. It's Amra and Ed, duh. Today we I don't know, pranked our favorite target, Amity. She's Little Miss Perfect, so we love to mess with our mittens. Love the Blight Twins username. Thank you. Lighting up your lives since, how old are they? Let's say, because Luce is like 14. Let's call them 16. What's the math? I don't know. Anytime, here's the thing as soon as you throw in like a definite number or measurement of time in some way, it just rips you out of the immersion and you start wondering, oh, what's the statistics? What's I don't know. Since we were born, I don't know. Like pros. I don't know. Pranks, jokes, and challenges galore. 16, 17 for the Blight Twins. Horace says, holy moly, it's popular content. Oh, hold up. Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, you can, let me change. I'm frozen. Okay, you can see me now. Holy moly, it's popular content creator ND Lily. Ring out the bells and bring out the platinum play button. The entire population when Lily steps outside. Probably. Any hoodles. Lily has been frozen. Lily has been unfrozen. That works too. Vague enough estimate of time. Thank you very much. Alright. I love how I'm just stuck. I'm frozen again. Yo, what am I gonna do? Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Alright. Blight Twins. Blighting it up. Blighting up your lives like pros. Pranks, jokes, and challenges galore. Pranking the teacher's pet again. It's her. I think they would have red circles. Absolutely. I'm thinking they would absolutely go, like, you know, Mr. Beast vibes? They would absolutely just want the attention kind of edit. That's what I get from them. Alright, so we've got 3 stacks. I don't like how it's stacked here. Let's do this. And then let's do something. Prank. What's this? We could do this. Kick me. We could do a fart cushion. Do you know, I was talking about fart cushions. They used to be like a couple dollars, and now I feel like they're like $35. That's not some part of my childhood I thought I would see just skyrocket in price, but it has, and it makes me sad. Relaxing asks, what you ate daily? Food. It changes, honestly. I don't know. Tried to eat soup today, but I think the soup doesn't taste good, so not really doing a good job about eating the soup. Sometimes I'll eat candy. I like chicken. This one time a chicken looked at me weird, so ever since I've had a personal grudge against chickens. I'm just kidding. It's the most consistently dairy and gluten-free item on most menus, so it's a safe food for me. Justin says, does anyone think that Alador something something and then Streamlabs deleted it? I'm sorry, Just Human. Amber says, it's always sad when things of our childhood get hit with the change price beam or something. Yeah. Justice says, I can see the Blight Twins doing those 3 a.m. challenge videos. Yes. Absolutely. So that would be their vibe. We already have Luce's. We have Willow's. I kept the same green. But I wonder What if we kept like a, what if we did like a blue? That might work. Or like a yellow for their eyes. That doesn't work as well for the others. We need a good contrast. I think green works. Green works. Any hoodles. This bookshelf, I would definitely associate with Amity, if not V. And I say Amity because it has that romantic vibe. We're going back to the bookshelf conversation again, by the way. Just Human says, sorry, I keep forgetting I'm still on this channel. No worries. Streamlabs has a really specific, like, that's too much. But it also, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the moderation thing. I like Twitch's moderation much better. I keep on hoping that YouTube will just have an update that comes out. Like, you know how Minecraft has updates and then you get, like, cool features and stuff every year or so? I wish YouTube would do that, and just, like, update their moderation and their streaming stuff so that it's better, but they don't. So, yeah. Long story short, building his machines but forget he's recording is this good. I love that. Alador would totally do that. Alador, because I remember you were talking about Alador Blight, his channel. He would definitely do like a let's build with me or something. Maybe he would set it to record and then it would actually be live streaming and then he would forget that he recorded it. And he would just live stream the whole thing and then somebody would come in and just be like, hey, Dad. Oh, there's a camera. Oh my gosh, you have like 5 million viewers, Dad. What? He's like, what? No. Relaxing says, I've seen motivators say, what if it all works out? Positive thinking. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Questions. How many chickens do you think you could fight off if you were also a chicken? Easily 20. Kind of pushing it, 22. I saw somewhere that you have to kind of like train your chat to like fit the vibe. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out all of that. Yeah, back to the bookshelf conversation. I think this fits Amity because it's got that romantic vibe that she clearly goes after with the Good Witch Azura and just pining after Luz and switching to the cotton candy hair and just being soft in general. This is totally leaning into that feminine vibe that she's pursuing, but then also the nod to her being like a traveler, which she becomes later in the series because she goes around in that abomination blimp stuff, stuff like that. So I like this one for Amity, and I think I like this kind of vibe for Luz. And then there's this one, which is definitely a Willow. Willow would definitely have this one. So we have different bookshelves for different characters. I think Luz would definitely vibe with this bookshelf and this background. Lumity would have these. Amity would have this bookshelf and this bookshelf. And so for the background, we want to consider what matches the aesthetic. So here, let's make it big, as if Luz is in the not the bookshelf, in the library. Let's adjust it so it's a little crisper. Blurrier? I didn't think that that would be ideal, but it kind of is. Karen says, am member. Yes, you are. Relaxing says, are you talkative in real life or just on the internet like me? I don't know. I think I don't shut up typically. All right. How about some questions about shows or hobbies or stuff, and not like how to identify me if I were out and about in real life? It's kind of I don't know. I'm uncomfortable with the questions you're giving. Relaxing. All right, so we have Luz in the foreground. We've got these bookshelves in the background, but the bookshelves are almost the focus because Luz is so blurry. So you do want to make sure that you have a good blur on the background to make your foreground, the front, the focus. So let's reduce the clarity and see what happens when we make the bookshelves a little more blurry. And then let's bring the vignette up a little bit. Just Human says, do you like to draw? I like to paint. Thank you for asking a hobby related question. I appreciate that. Okay, so we have Luz here. This is something I like to do with my thumbnails. I like to bring the brightness up on the foreground. It's gonna look really dumb because Luz is really blurry here. But let's pretend that you don't have a good camera and you're just working with like tones and ratios. And then we just need text. And this is literally how I create all of my thumbnails. Is I get a good background, I blur it, I make it darker than the foreground, and then I add text in the way that I think we should have it. So here we established a font. And it's gonna be like, Hecate's not dead. Make it really big. And that's an example of a thumbnail. And then you want your thumbnail to be a kind of promise. So let's say that we have a picture of Luz Noceda. Let's do an image. Let's just take this image. Crop it to the shoulders up. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little of the torso. And then, bam, we have Luz's video. We have the book background. And then if we want to, we could incorporate something like that cork board in the background. We would need to edit it to be a little darker. So we go back to the adjust, bring down the brightness, and then let's make it a little blurrier by bringing down the sharpness and the clarity, and then positioning it behind Luz, but in front of those books. Let's give it a pole. Let's make it a little thicker. And then to the, there we go. So we have that. And now we have Luz talking about her theories about the books. We've got a book-themed background for Luz. And we have something in the midground. Midground just means it's between the background and the foreground, or the front. And that's how we set up, that's how I would set up a stream for Luz. This is very limited. I think Luz would also, let's just switch to just chatting for a minute. I'm frozen again. Not for long. I'm back. I'm back. Switching back to just concept. Oh, didn't mean to move that. Why that one? There we go. All right. So talking about what I would do realistically, because in Canva we only had those pictures and graphics to work off of. In real life, I would probably ask Luz if she had a bookshelf or something that she wanted to design so that it would be there, and then have it like in a background so that you have some depth, because you want depth. If I am just here and I'm up against these, there's not a lot of depth here. There's some mess in front of me, and that's a separate thing. But there's not a lot of depth. But if we switch it to this, and if I bring back my piece of art, I was moving things, so I moved it. That gives us a little bit of depth to this environment. Relaxing says you should be a singer like Billie Eilish. Thanks. Jay says she has a music channel, actually. I do. Thanks for reminding. Just Human says, wouldn't Luz also do a how to draw video? Probably. I think Luz would definitely do a how to draw my life, or draw my life and then just like sketchbook tours, stuff like that. Luz would do all sorts of things, I think. But I'd really encourage Luz to have space between where she sits and the bookshelf, so that there's depth and there's foreground, the front, midground, behind her, but still space, and then the background, which would be the books. So the books kind of contextualize her stuff, and then the midground would be whatever she's working on, and the foreground would be her talking. And you can switch up the mid and foreground or whatever. What's your music channel name? I honestly don't remember right now. Something like Millie's Music or something. I don't remember though. Could be Millie's Voice. I think it's Millie though, instead of Lily. I need to stop trying to breathe my own spit. My goodness. The last thing I would suggest for Luz is to have like a designated spot, and then just have like a 5 to 10 minute pickup, so that down here it's not as distracting. So I've had all of these things in the frame this whole time, and it's not been very pleasant to look at. You can obviously look past it. It's not a major thing, but it does contribute to the cleanliness and just professional lookingness of your channel if you can just tidy it up a little bit. So move my drink out of sight. We have a random box that doesn't need to be there. Let's put that out of sight. This can go up on the desk. Obviously put them away. And then close that in. I would ideally not have the really obvious label of paints, but you work with what you have. And then here, behind chat, you might have noticed that there's a chicken dipping sauce from Primal Kitchen. That doesn't need to be there. That was from lunch. Stuff like that. So, just cleaning up your background and having a nice space, even if you don't have a really good quality camera, making it clear who the focus of your camera is, especially when you don't have a good camera yet, is really helpful, because it enables you to make it really easy for people to focus on you and not everything else. Because if everything is visual, nothing is visual. So if they are trying to see you and then they see 20 million other things, it's not going to be very, very effective, which is another reason why I would advise that Luz have the bookshelf in the background, because there's going to be so many books to look at. You almost want to intentionally blur that out so that it's just the concept of reading, not the actual books themselves. What else? Let me see if there are any other questions. Blackson says you're Millie like Millie Bobby Brown. Not quite. I spell it Milly. Like Lily, but one extra L and an M. I just got censored by Mari. Of course I did. Hi, Mari. You enjoy that censorship? Thanks for the censor. Ember says chicken dip. I love chicken dip. It's very good. Alright, it is 7:55 p.m. I promised I would stream till about 8, so I am going to wrap things up. Thank you for chatting and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like how to stream and make videos kind of thing. It's something that I've been learning and talking about for 10 years now. So that's how I would do it if Luz were a booktuber. And I think now's a great time to announce I am designing my own space to hopefully move into in the next couple of months. So that'll be a very, very fun change. That's why I've been talking about this sort of thing, because I'm really evaluating, okay, what do I want to bring into this new space? What do I care about on this channel? What do I want to emphasize? What will embody the most important pillars of content and personality on this channel that I want to have as staples in my background? And so we're gonna have a nice cozy background. We're gonna have books. We're gonna have fandom stuff. And it's gonna be really lovely, I think. So yay, I'm excited. And I'm excited to show it to you guys when it's all done. But it is so far from done. It is so far from done. We're like months from being done. So I'm just getting ready for that, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm really excited to do that process. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. Yeah, thanks for joining. Ember says thanks for the stream, have a good week all. Hope all goes well. Thank you. Just Human says, what is your favorite show or movie? The Owl House, Chosen, Percy Jackson, The Olympians on Disney+, She-Ra, Princesses of Power 2018 version. I love The Dragon Prince. What else? Princess Bride. I think I just named all of my hyperfixations. Jay says, this was nice. Yay! Didn't have many headcanons today, but thanks for stream though. No worries for having fewer headcanons. That's totally fine. I'm glad that it was enjoyable. I'm glad that you guys were here. Relaxy says, what's your new space vibe? Is it like cozy or anything? You will have to just wait and see and find out, just like everybody else. Justin says, ooh, excited for the new place. Me too. I'm so hyped. Oh, it's gonna look so good. Okay. Take care, everybody. Does anybody want to do a bye train? Mari, perhaps, because you started it earlier? Emma says The Princess Bride is a great movie. Yes, it's inconceivable how awesome it is. I'm gonna redeem a buy. It's been forever since I've redeemed a buy. Bye! Bye! Sending love. Oh no, the echo. I keep on forgetting. Somebody save me from the echo. Oh, mercy. I have to figure this out. What is going on? Is it the emotes? Talk to speech? Text to speech? That's all of the buys. That's all of the audio I have. It should just be the audio output now. Ah, I don't know. Relaxing says, no, I don't want to annoy you today. Okay. Miss Gamer Girl says, Princess Bride is actually my favorite movie. Right. Bye! Maurice's stream is actually over now. Time for the real buy train. Welcome to the buy train. Thank you for saying bye, everyone. Good to see you all. Good night. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw me switch to the BRB screen instead of the ending screen. Nobody saw that. It was fine. Okay, bye.